that's happening.
You want me on your good side, right?
So welcome to the 206th hour of Adventurers Wanted.
Boom!
Just a couple of things before we start. This performance, like all of the performances, is a relaxed performance. That just means we've got a relaxed attitude to any sound or movement from our audience members, just for the benefit of anyone who might not be able to be still or silent for the duration of the piece. If at any point you do want to pop out, you can totally head through the door at the back. There's some water and stuff out there. Come back in whenever you feel up to it. I'm going to go over here, so you can give me a wee shout if you need anything at all. We've got some audio headsets as well, so if you'd like to use those, again, just give me a shout. Lights should stay like this for the duration of the piece. They're being kind of popping out every so often. If that happens, I will run and put them on as quickly as I can. But there'll always be light on this bit of the stage, and there'll be no loud bangs or anything like that, but there will be some background music throughout. We've also got Tommy joining us for this hour, who's BSL interpreting. Hi, Tommy. I will pass it over to Krista, who's our GM with the next.
Hello everybody. Thank you for coming. Much appreciated. So, this is our 206 of Adventurers Wanted, a 250-hour epic role-playing game. We're nearly there, guys. Oh, it's going to be a good one so far. So, what are we doing here? We're playing a tabletop role-playing game. For those of you who don't know what that means, these four lovely players to my left and right are playing characters in a universe, and I play the rest of that universe. The enemies they face, the allies they make, the weather patterns they have to deal with. That's all. I handle the rest of that. And to make sure that I don't abuse my awesome power, we use dice rolls, various multi-sided dice, to make sure that everything is relatively fair and watch our characters either succeed spectacularly or fail miserably. Looking at you, man.
That's fair.
Yeah. You've had some great dice rolls over the past couple of games, that must be said.
Yes, and very evil DMs.
Yeah, he does abuse his powers.
That's not true. That's not true. I'm the nicest DM. Everyone says so. So, let's catch up with the story. There are over 200 hours of backstory. I obviously can't condense that into 30 seconds. What I will try and do is give you an overview. What I will say is, because we're so far in and you guys may not have caught up so far, which is absolutely fine, if at any point during what we're doing you want to jump in and go, can you explain that a bit, or where are you? That's totally fine. It's a relaxed attitude. We recommend audience dive in, so feel free to. But in short, these four players are all members of the crew of the Spirit of the Horizon. The Spirit of the Horizon is a naval research vessel. It got taken away from its home plane by a spell they found on a magical stone tablet in a forgotten temple. Unfortunately, that forgotten temple also contained an ancient evil, which they released and started destroying their world. So they cast a spell to get away and are now in a strange new world, mostly set around the sea, islands, so more of a swashbuckling theme to it. They are now trying to find pieces of a tablet that exists in this world that they think probably does exactly the same thing. And as they go and find all the pieces so far, they've encountered all sorts of crazy monsters and enemies, including last night they defeated a giant kraken. It's the biggest thing they've dealt with so far. They are currently sneaking their way into an island where they've discovered that a dragon turtle, a very large turtle, has swallowed the last piece of the tablet and apparently is being controlled by a water genie called El Dunalid. At the beginning of this adventure, some of the party this morning already snuck in. However, thanks to the teleportation magic still affecting the ship from the spell they first cast, most of the characters, if not all of them, are about to be replaced by people who don't know why they're there and don't know what's going on. This should be fun. Going from left to right, Bex, can you tell us about your character, who she is, and what she does on board ship, and what she's doing right now?
Okay, so my character is Devere Cook. She's a rogue cook on the ship, her speciality being potatoes. She's very obsessed with potatoes, and due to an unfortunate incident with a giant flying snake god, lost her lucky potato peeler.
I don't think I've ever heard that sentence been said ever.
I don't think anyone has.
What's about?
Okay, hi, I'm Naomi. I'm playing a gnome wizard called Brina. Brina is the head of arcane research on the ship, and as such, she was subject to a briefing earlier by the captain about what was going on, about coming and finding this water genie, finding Kalahanu. Just going to remind the GM of that before we go in.
Oh, I know. I'm well aware.
And because of that, and because her and Philip reminded everyone that they knew that there was a fire genie who had vengeance against this particular water genie, they were trying to contact the water genie. Well, the fire genie. Whether they managed to do that or not is unknown yet.
You didn't.
my name
Surprise.
is James. I play a character called Geoffrey Wigglebottom, who is a human sorcerer and is the head of Arcane Research's assistant. Also very good at improvised rap and once ended racism with a song.
He isn't here today.
There'll be no rapping today.
That's what you think.
My name is Rob. I am playing a rogue halfling called Silas Bulstrode. My role here is I am the assistant to the head of Arcane Research. And so far, I know very little about Silas Bulstrode other than the fact that he speaks a little bit like this.
You're a manager as well, aren't you?
Also that, yes.
Fantastic. We look forward to that, Rob. The whole hour of that voice now. That's what's going to happen.
Returning character, I hope.
I have seen Rob do 5 hours of a very shrill Liverpudlian accent. He's up to the challenge.
Okay, then before we get started, I want to hear like 2 seconds of that.
Of the shrill Liverpool.
Yeah.
Well, that was a character I played who was also a bit of a rogue, and he was like this, and he had a tendency of stealing iPhones that he thought were robots, and he was obsessed with Craig Charles because he watched Robo Wars as a kid.
I'm breaking into cars with a dragon tooth, but that's a different campaign.
5 hours. Jeez. Cool. With that in mind, Brina, as you said, you and Philip were part of the briefing to discuss what would happen on this island that you are currently docked outside. And you know that some of the crew have gone on board to investigate through a back entrance that you found out about from your resident half-parrot, half-man, Maguro, potassium nitrate backstory.
He was the racist one, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
He's not anymore.
No.
Apparently.
Against Sniff, at least.
You're aware of all of these things. So when the golden teleportation energy that you know full well surrounds you, you are ready to go, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah?
She's very unhappy about the whole thing. She was hoping to get a day off.
Are you with your assistant at this point in time?
I probably am, considering we're trying to scry on the...
Are you helping with the scrying?
Yes, just more in kind of... I don't have any scrying abilities, but I'm probably there for support, just as I can go on, I believe in you.
So
like it's Philip who's scrying, don't cheer me on.
I know, but you're my boss, so...
So there's a wizard scrying on something. Your boss is sort of egging them on. You're egging her on.
Yes.
Do I have to ask, Silas?
I am whispering into Geoffrey's ear. Why don't you egg her on?
He's the power behind the throne.
That is some top-notch assisting right there. That's what that is. That is, it's exactly what we want to happen. All 3 of you are surrounded by swirling golden teleportation energy, which, as people who have seen an hour of this before will know, about on the hour, every hour, people seem to be teleported, often on the ship. Almost like their characters disappear for a short time, then reappear again. It's odd. It's very peculiar. Anyway, that happens to the 3 of you as you are taken to basically an underground tunnel. It's quite wet, it's quite damp, it's quite cold. And as you appear in this tunnel, you also appear with Davia. Where were you when you were taken away?
I would have been serving food.
Serving food.
Yep, so serving food to the crew members, and suddenly just a ladle plops into some form of potato stew. There's just potatoes and water. I'm not a great cook.
Well, as long as it's potato-based, that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Level 14 cook.
Yes.
as a ladle drops into a pot of potato stew, you are also teleported away and appear in this.
Perfect. Can I
in
just
this
have it noted
walkway.
that I would be wearing my apron?
Absolutely.
Over
Yeah.
your armour.
Yes.
Good.
Of course.
The crew tend to carry their weapons and wear armour at all times because of this teleportation effect. I think that's fair.
Yeah, we were given an order.
Yeah.
Like, hour 3.
Hour
Yeah,
3,
hour
and it's hour 200 now, so you guys should have learned your lesson by now. That's good. Right, so you appear in this underground cavern. You don't know where you are. You don't know what's going on. What would you like to do?
I would like to see if I can figure out where I am.
Do you have a map of this place?
No.
Great. You don't know where you are.
Yeah. Could I... Oh, actually, the tunnels that Philip mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
Could I have a look for one of those?
The tunnels.
The tunnels. The network of tunnels.
You are in a network of tunnels.
Great.
You can roll a perception check to see how much you know about this network of tunnels.
I don't think I know a lot. No, 6, I know nothing.
It's a network of tunnels.
So I'm just going to have a drink.
Yeah.
Oh, at least I get a break for... Oh, God.
Can
Oh, you're both here. Fantastic.
Are we able to maybe check for footprints of the previous crew members?
Absolutely.
Of where they've gone?
Absolutely.
Good idea,
Is
David.
that survival?
Anyone else want to check for footprints?
Or
I'm waiting for
perception?
orders from my boss.
Oh, my God, just check.
I
for
would like
footprints.
to check for footprints before the order has been given.
Silas, well, I never.
I am preempting the
Go
order
on,
tonight.
go for it.
I don't notice anything.
Make a perception check for me, please. What did you roll?
3?
3? No, you don't notice.
I rolled 3.
I still think I'm in the kitchen.
I mean, the ground is relatively, muddy's the wrong word. Moist, it's moist, but it is rock. So in terms of footprints, you'd be looking for treads and marks, but they're quite hard to see. So even the two sneakiest rogues see very little indeed.
Yeah.
There is currently a tunnel extending to your left and to your right, but that's all you know at the moment.
Okay, considering we're facing to the cross of this T-junction,
Uh-huh.
one can assume we're facing the way the previous people came, because that tends to happen.
Maybe make an intelligence check on that one.
Nope, that's a 7.
That's high enough to note that you all came in facing different directions.
Great.
They weren't standing single file pointing the direction they wanted to go, because people don't normally do that.
Why didn't they just walk along with chalk on the wall, just for us?
Well, I like to
Well, do we have any
prestidigitation.
chalk to do that for them?
That's fair.
Sorry.
I just put my hand up to the wall and prestidigitation a small mark of a unicorn, I guess, because that's our thing. Very crude.
The front of the
It's,
ship is indeed a unicorn. It has been brutally defaced a few times, but it is still a unicorn. So
That'll be
yeah.
there for an hour. That should be helpful.
Right. There is
there
now
for
a
an
unicorn
hour.
on the
If
wall
we-
of the tunnel.
If we stay here for an hour, then yes, it would be very useful.
But we're not going to do that.
No.
Why
Everyone
not?
Yeah, everyone,
Sit around and tell some stories, have a good time.
everyone make perception checks for me.
Considering how the last one went.
8.
8.
Nat 20.
Oh.
Natural 1.
Natural 1.
Dice jail.
14.
14. You are a halfling, so you can roll again.
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Oh, you can, yeah.
I'm gonna
Halfling
use my
luck.
nice dice.
Halflings have an ability called Lucky, where they can re-roll ones.
That's better.
11.
11, not bad. 11, 8,
14.
14,
20.
20.
Plus.
Nat, no,
It's a
nat
nat 20. It doesn't matter. Silas, as your compatriots start to look around and try and work out what's going on, you're a halfling, right? You're a little halfling rogue.
Yes,
Yeah. You're wise to the ways of the world, aren't you?
I am.
So when you prick up your ears a little bit, you can hear the sound of... You can hear sounds coming from all sides of this T-junction. So you guys are currently in the middle of a T-junction. To the south, you can hear quite a lot of noise, but it sounds relatively more like a town or city than it would like anything else. To your left, so here, you can hear some semi-militaristic sound, and to your right, you can also hear some semi-militaristic sound. You think possibly bases, army encampments, that sort of thing.
Here's what I've heard.
Okay.
Straight ahead of me, quite benign noise. Possibly some kind of township, a hamlet. Just ordinary folk going about their business. To the left and right, military folk doing military things.
Okay, well,
Great work.
Thank you.
that is absolutely fantastic work. It's that kind of thing, to paraphrase the captain, that might earn you a promotion.
That's
Watch
why I
out,
hired
Jeffrey.
him.
Right, okay, so... right, so on that,
Yo.
now, in any other situation, I would say we should go to the township. But considering the reason we're here is to get something that's properly under heavy guard...
Do you guys all want to roll a history check? Yeah, roll a history check. You would have heard about this on board ship.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
18.
18,
11.
11,
10.
10.
It's amazing
You
what you
guys
hear at
were
the
not
food
paying
court.
attention when the briefing was given about what's going on. What were you guys doing while that was
We were
happening?
playing the Cup of the Ball game.
Come on, a ball game.
Yeah.
Ball in a
The
cup.
Victorian ball and cup.
Yeah.
You were playing ball in a cup.
What,
Yeah.
we were both playing that?
Yeah.
I was throwing the ball, and
Wait.
he was holding the cup.
Wait.
You mean you weren't playing a ball in a cup where the ball is attached on a rope connected to the cup?
They haven't invented that yet.
No, we've not got any rope left. We
Oh,
used
right.
it all.
Okay,
On
good.
a ship.
On a ship. No spare rope on a ship.
We'll ignore the Family Guy reference.
Too
Okay,
big,
so...
too thick for ball
I
in the cup.
acknowledged it.
String.
Silently.
Good. So, Brina rolled a 20.
She did.
Brina, you recall that on this island there is a water genie, and you think he's probably got a lot of Rakina, shark people, that are enthralled to him. And you recall that being mentioned during the briefing. So if there is a township, it's probably not friendly.
Yeah. I'm just thinking that it's probably best to go towards the military, because if we're looking for a heavily guarded turtle, dragon turtle, and genie and arcane focus, there's probably going to be more military around it. They're probably not going to keep it in the middle of a township, which seems like good logic.
I agree with all of that.
Which one, left or right?
Would you want me to stealth down to see if I can see anything of interest?
Should we get
What a good
stealthy?
idea!
We're fairly
stealthy,
stealthy.
either direction. See
See if we can
come back.
see a giant turtle?
And me and Brina can stay here and chat.
Oh, good.
Do you prefer left or right?
I'll go for right.
Okay.
I will take left then.
Cool. Right.
Devere goes
Well
right.
done. Well done.
Silas goes left. Both roll your stealth checks, but while they're doing that, guys, what are you talking about?
So, seeing anyone at the moment?
This is a fizz rep of my flask of rum.
Say no more.
Do we have to have that conversation? Do we have to have another meeting with Darkness?
I've not
Darkness
seen
is the
Darkness.
HR rep.
Me and Darkness get along great.
Because you haven't met
We
him.
spend so much time together, it's untrue. We get on so well.
No, you know when he calls you into those meetings?
Yeah, and we have the chats.
About what?
But just about what I've been up to, really. He's really interesting. I'd say he was my second best friend.
After Silas?
After you.
Oh, great. Lovely. You know, Jeffrey.
Hang on. Are you trying to deceive her with that?
No, I generally believe everyone is my best friend.
There we
HR
go.
second.
Okay, fine.
Listen. The more meetings you have with HR,
The closer we get.
no.
What did you guys roll?
31.
23.
I'm a rogue. Plus
23.
Sorry, mate.
Right,
Hang on,
we roll 20-sided dice to do most of these checks, so a sort of 1 to 20, and 20 and above slightly is pretty good. A 31 is...
Oh.
Silly.
Devere. There was once a
Oh, so you roll
memory
again.
of Devere. It is now gone. People have forgotten what Devere
So, yeah.
is or even
Oh, you can roll
was.
matches. Anyway,
As you
this
make
one.
your way to the left, was it, or to the right?
Yeah, so
I was going right.
Right. Lovely. Shh. As you make your way down the right-hand corridor, you make your way down, sloping slowly. This is a covered path. And as it slopes down, it opens up a little bit above you. There is some sky you can see. It's dusk, so night is slowly starting to fall. And in front of you is a 20-foot-high wooden wall built into a cavern. There are guards hanging around. You can count roughly 10. And they all have quite a good view of the area in front of them and the tunnel. They're not really looking that carefully because clearly this tunnel goes from somewhere to somewhere and they're not
Yeah.
expecting a huge amount of people to come through it. It's quite a small tunnel. But they are definitely on the lookout. However, at this point in time, they do not see you. With a 31, I'm not going to bother rolling. There's no chance. They don't see you.
Cool. I'd like to stealthily make my way back to report it to everyone.
Cool. I'll keep the same stuff. Well, 31, that's awesome. Silas, what was it?
23.
23, I will go for that. Silas, you make your way to the left, was it? The tunnel in this case curves up slightly. And as it curves up again, it opens out and you see a fortress in front of you. And there's a large building, a couple of smaller buildings. It's built into the side of the mountain with this cave entrance you've just come out of being obviously what it's there to guard and protect from. It's relatively encircled by rock and encapsulated, so it feels like it's sort of the top of the island, if you will, because you can't see any other mountain bits around it. But it is very much a military institution. You can see a lot of mercenaries and swashbucklers hanging out, about 20 or so. And it's dusk. You know how these things work. You would expect there to be a couple of people who are off duty. There don't seem to be any off duty. None of them see you. What would you like to do?
I would like to sneak back down the tunnel and report my findings.
You both go back and report your findings, and we'll repeat ourselves. What does everyone want to do?
Boss.
Good call, boss.
Which do you think's more likely? Which do you think more likely to be closer to this focus we're looking for?
Well, if there's a giant turtle, how big is the fortress?
No, the
That's-
turtle should. I don't think the turtle's going to be in the fortress. I
Oh
think
no,
that's
they're
how
onto
turtles
us. Sorry, I'm doing your voice now.
It's dark underground.
Well, I'm thinking if there's a big wall, there's got to be something the other side of the wall.
Are we finding?
Hopefully potatoes.
Are we finding the turtle, the water genie, or the fire genie?
Well, no, the fire genie is someone we tried to contact. I don't know how successful we were. We had to leave Philip in the middle. Thanks, Jeffrey. Right.
Good work, boss.
We had to leave. We
You've
had to-
endeared yourself to your superior.
As you have to yours.
Someone's rolling a charisma check there.
No,
Never
thank
mind.
Silas, I don't think you're a big fan of Jeffrey's touching.
Who is?
I don't think I'm a big fan of Jeffrey.
There we go. He rolled a 1, so that makes perfect sense.
Very few people are, it seems, apart from Keith, of course.
Right. Anyway, after that tangent, so there was no one guarding really anything in yours. They were just sort of around.
They were milling around, but
But
none of them were off duty. That I noted specifically.
So I think
They were milling around with intent. Milling with intent, you know, that
Yeah.
popular
Yeah.
pastime.
Millers.
Yes. I don't want you to get confused, Jeffrey, that you seem to think they were actual millers. They were definitely mercenaries / swashbucklers.
Who were milling.
Pottering around, that's even worse.
They were tannering around.
Just
They were
coopering it up.
present. They were present.
I don't think these characters are going to work out the way you want them to. I think this is just going to be Brina and Silas.
What would you guys like to do?
We're going to go down the one Devera went down. We're going to try and be sneaky.
Okay.
So you're going back towards the
Yeah.
wooden wall, the palisade.
Yeah, the 10 guards.
The 10
All
guards.
10 guards, yeah.
I can take 10 people.
No, you can't be as sneaky as you can be.
I'm just saying, I genuinely could.
You've all received the order to sneak, so
12.
12,
Got advantage.
Turned into a 10.
Yes, it does. So that's 22.
So that's 22.
22,
23 again.
23 again.
8.
8!
Well, I might as well not bother to roll in, really.
Oh, good.
Just saying, guys, I could totally take 10 people.
The sound echoes down the corridor that you are walking
God.
down. And in front of you, you hear murmured voices, almost as if they heard something. Yeah, what's that? Literally that.
Oh, it's becoming too real, guys.
Okay, I think a bottlenecking strategy is going to have to be the way forward here if they come down for us. So we need to.
That'd be great. I couldn't lightning bolt.
Oh, that's a much better idea
You
than
guys hear
us going at
footsteps
them.
moving towards the mouth of the corridor.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to just like they've heard us, right? Have they heard us?
There's footsteps
Yeah,
moving toward
okay.
the mouth of the corridor.
I think it's
Cool,
safe
great.
to say.
Everyone-
How big, wide is the corridor?
It's about 2 to 3 people wide, if you're lucky.
Everyone,
is it 5 feet or is it 10 feet?
10 feet.
Okay.
everyone
cool.
against a wall.
So you all flatten yourselves against walls?
Yeah, I guess.
Are you trying to hide?
No.
I'm getting ready to lightning bolt.
So you're
Roach,
standing in the
try and
middle.
hide.
Yeah,
You're standing in the middle.
Yeah.
Right.
we're small anyway.
Oh
so-
yeah, we're getting out. Sure, we'll get out of the way of his lightning bolt. Great.
So Jeffrey is standing in the middle of a 10 by 10 foot corridor with finger pistols ready, while everyone else is sort of hiding against the sides of the wall.
Hang on, wait, is this flat one or is it like that?
It's curving down slightly.
Okay, I'm going to go to the side because I've realised now that people generally go, oh, there's some bad people coming, let's roll lots of hot stuff down there.
No, as in it's uphill.
We're upwards. Okay,
You're
in that
upwards.
case,
We have the
Let's
high
roll
ground.
lots of hot
You-
stuff out.
yes,
Getting
literally.
ready to
It's
lightning
safe, Anakin. You have the high ground.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, that's not good, is it? That's not a good quote to use in this situation. Okay.
Cool.
Sure.
So who's trying to hide? And if you are trying to hide, roll a stealth check, please. If you're
I
not
may
trying-
as well, I may as well try to hide.
Otherwise, I'm just standing there.
I'll roll,
Ooh!
but there's really no point.
A 21.
A 21.
Yeah.
Brina, you are hidden behind Mr. Wigglebottom here.
I've got a 15.
15.
I'm stealth.
So you're trying to be a bit more sneaky.
Yeah,
sliding
I
to the
probably
side
will
wall.
move to the side because I do want to. I like to see the shot looks on their faces as they get burned to a crisp.
Sure, okay.
I've got 31.
25.
25. Surprise, surprise. What's happening basically
I'm
is
stood
that
there. There's
Yeah.
someone stood behind me.
Yeah,
getting
exactly.
all the small ones behind me.
the normal sized human is standing there, sort of trying to hide rather ineffectually,
And we're
and
hiding
behind
behind
him
him.
are 3 tiny people who are all basically invisible because, well, they're standing behind a human who's just hidden not particularly well.
We're doing like one on top of each other's shoulders in a coat kind of.
And if
No,
you like,
no.
you
No,
will
we're
be rolling
not
some
doing
very.
that.
Everyone gone.
No.
Who's this handsome man?
From below in the corridor, you hear 2 voices. One says, "Did you hear that?" The other says, "No." Huh. I thought I heard something. No, you didn't hear anything. It's just the wind. I don't know. All right, let's go. Did you hear that? I thought I heard something. Hang on. You can just see, as the corridor crests down, you see some feet walk in. They are just feet of someone.
So you only hear 2 voices.
You only hear 2 voices. You can see someone's feet as they've walked towards this area. They're listening out again. I'm not sure. Let's go stand on the wall. If they're going down there, they've either got to go back to the fort or through here. They got nowhere to go. Yeah. All right. They walk away again.
I'm going to message everyone in
Mhm.
turn and go, Jeffrey first. And go, okay, let's see if we can try sneaking again. So I message that to you psychically.
Do you guys all want to sneak forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
19.
26.
Mm-hmm.
22.
I rolled a natural 20, guys.
Yeah!
Yep, as you guys make your way to the mouth of this cave, there are guards milling around this palisade, this wooden structure that's clearly blocking off the way further into the mountain. But they can't note you. You've all managed to do a very good job of keeping to the shadows. It's dusk, so the light's not great, so you're managing to keep to one side. You are now all effectively at the point where the wooden wall meets the cavern wall. There is a way in through the middle of the wall, there is a door, and the two guards who were looking for you have now gone in through that door. It's still been left open.
Can we try and sneak through it?
Are there other
could.
guards around?
There are guards on top of the wall as well, none of them are seen you at the moment.
Are there any guards on the floor?
Not that you can see, maybe inside the palisade.
Should we try and sneak down?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Okay.
You're in charge here. You're an
I
officer.
feel like maybe
We're going on a
someone
suicide
should
mission.
sneak up to the door and have a look through it.
I was going to say, should
Yeah,
we get
but-
these two guys to go first? Because if they get through and then there's loads of fucking people, then obviously we don't want to do that. But if they go through, there's not a lot of people.
Cannon fodder
We,
is a
we
belief.
can, we can like cause a distraction out here while they backstab the shit out of everyone.
So
we could
you
do
are
some sneak
confirming
attacks
that
if
we'll...
there's only a couple.
Yeah, let's go for that. That's a good idea. But we're going to back them up. We're not going to let them go into their deaths. If we hear people
How
fighting them, we're
loud are
gonna
you
have
having
to-
this conversation?
Not loud.
I'm not going to let anyone kill my assistant, thank you very much.
Okay, good.
Or the cook, two of my favourite people.
Go.
I don't think we've ever met before.
So are you
You
guys
serve me that potato stew every day!
so are
I
you guys
messaged to her.
making your way through to the palisade? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
go on.
Do you have
Let's,
the
we're gonna
message
sneak in.
You guys gonna both
in a
sneak in?
very sneaky
Cool.
way. I get to reroll. It's fine.
Oh, you do.
18.
18.
Right.
No, if it's below 10, you get to make that 10.
Hang on. Oh, in that case, 22.
22?
26.
Yeah, you both peer in. There are, again, roughly 6, 7 guards milling around and a couple on top of the fort. That hasn't changed. There is a tunnel continuing from the palisade into the mountain. But there are 7 guards standing around and 3 on top. None of them have seen you as yet.
So.
We don't know that yet.
Can we psychic talk back to you guys?
No.
Not
No.
It's a spell she can cast.
We're gonna sneak back.
Oh no.
I'm not making you roll again. So you sneak back and you tell everyone, what would you like to do?
How close were the 7 standing together?
Fairly close.
Fairly close.
If we can get them down without killing anyone, that's ideal.
Aye, but if we're fighting something further down and then 10 guards show up, it's
That's-
not my
yeah, that's a-
favourite situation.
No, I see your point.
Listen, I've just learned delayed blast fireball and I'd really like to
I nearly took that.
Oh,
but
we
it took me
could-
to death instead.
Well, why you could cast like fireball in there? We can lock the door. That way, that none of them can come out and go and alert the other guards in the other fort that anyone's here.
Fireball's quite loud though.
It's fine. We'll cover it.
With
I fart. Oh wait, it's the other way around, isn't it? You fart, you cast a fireball to mask the smell. What's
As
that
long as
smell?
they
It smells like
can't hear-
sulphur. Oh, it's that fireball.
Is that why you cast
Jeffrey.
so many fireballs?
Yeah.
Jeffrey, how far can you cast that fireball? Could
I
you
can
cast it
extend the
in
range
there?
of it.
I've got it here. You can cast it 150 feet.
Oh, so he could cast it.
You can
inside
cast
the
it
doorway.
now, yeah.
He could cast it inside the doorway, and we can just wait up here until it
Yeah.
explodes.
Sure.
It's not the worst plan I've ever heard.
I have genuinely quite good plans despite my wacky exterior.
Sure.
Okay,
I've got it
Yeah,
here
let's
if
go
you
for
want
that.
to.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Worst case, we'll just hide.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, are you casting a delayed blast fireball inside this palisade?
Can I see the middle of the 7 cards, or
You'd have to sneak across and look in.
from if they said it would be like 10, 15, 20 feet. In front
You want
of the door.
to cast it like over the top.
Basically, I want. How like
You have to. You cast
20,
it.
it's 40 foot kind of diameter.
It's a 20-foot radius,
So,
so it's
yeah.
40-foot diameter.
Yeah.
So you can choose where to cast best to release from your finger and travel to that point.
That's what I wanted to aim it so I can try and get as many of these 7 people in
Okay.
as these guys remember it.
Use an intelligence check to see how well you understand where they want you to place it. Thank you.
8.
8.
Yeah.
You managed to describe relatively well where these guards were sort of congregated. So, Jeffrey, when you're ready, you're welcome to cast the spell, and we'll see what happens.
Let's just fucking cast it, guys.
Now, just so you're clear, you can make the ball explode whenever you want. The number of turns you leave it, the more damage it does. You can leave it up to 10 turns.
What's the minimum it does? 12d6?
12d6 is the minimum, yes.
Well, if we wait here for a minute while we're hidden.
Pardon?
So 22 in total if you waited the entire minute. However, it is a glowing ball of energy that people might, want to touch or have a look at.
Yeah.
How long do you want to leave it for?
I have an idea.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Message is, if you send a message to him, he can send one straight back to
A
you.
little bit, yeah.
So if he goes down, watches them, if they're kind of running away, he sends a message back saying, now, if they're getting closer to it, going, oh, what's this? Then he can give us the prime point that we can set up.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but then what if he gets caught in the fireball?
I'm a hardy fellow.
But for a start, he'll have protection because he'll be behind a wall and he'll know when it's about to
A
go
wooden
off.
wall, yes.
And he's the best damn halfling rogue I've ever met.
You're too kind.
Aw.
How dare you?
Hey, if you wanted the assistant to the assistant's job, you should have applied.
I will be talking to Darkness about this favouritism later on, because we're not really supposed to be showing that.
I've not spoken to Dennis in about an hour, so it'd be great to see him.
But if Silas, if you're happy to do that, then
You
let's
want
do
me
it.
to quite literally put myself in the line of fire.
As long as you're 20 feet away from the centre of where I send it, you're fine.
All right, well,
Say-
I'll get out my trundle wheel and make sure that there's only 20 feet between me and the ball.
Or just go and go, oh yeah, they're looking good. Cast it in 6 seconds
Oh.
while I run,
I'll eyeball it. Sure, why not?
and then I'll fireball
When you see
it.
him running, it's going to
Going,
explode.
ah!
The signal is, okay.
Cool.
Right, so...
While they're doing that, I'm going to get my weapon out.
Yeah, I'm
Right,
gonna,
Davia's ready with her weapon for when this hilarious plan fails. Good.
yeah, I'm going to be ready to cast some spells.
Are you readying a spell? Rena, are you readying a spell?
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm going to ready.
I don't need to know what it is, just tell me
Okay,
you're
cool.
readying a spell, that's fine.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm readying for you.
Silas.
Banishment. Go away, Griffin.
No, that's for you.
Silas, when
Yes,
you're
we
ready,
know that.
roll a stealth check to look in the door,
Right.
and then the moment that you're in place, Jeffrey, cast that fireball and let's see what happens.
All good things.
24.
24. 24. The guards do not see you as you sneak across. You look in. You can see there is a cluster of them congregated around the middle of this space. This space behind the palisade is barely 30 feet wide. Jeffrey, he's looking in. He's giving you the thumbs up.
I cast it into
Cool.
what I imagine to be the middle of the balustrade.
A beam of light flashes out of your finger. Roll a stealth check.
Woohoo! Mama! 6. No, 4.
6.
4. 4. It's 4. I don't have any. I forgot. I got it mixed up with perception. No, I've only got 4.
4. Lovely. Jeffrey rather ostentatiously flourishes with his hands,
Oh, Jeffrey.
and this golden light comes out of his finger and coalesces into a ball, which goes flipping over and lands in the middle of the courtyard.
Such
One
a
of the
bad
guards
roll.
on the wall looks down. Ear, what was that?
Oh, that's a good roll.
Yup. The guards in the middle of the palisade take one look at this ball of energy and go, "What's that? I don't know, get away!" and start sprinting away.
I hear that.
Ah!
Can we get some combat music, please?
There will be no loud bangs during this performance, just so you know. Apart from this fireball.
Right. Oh my god. Roll your fireball.
Give me some d6s.
2. There's 2 here.
I need a 6 and I'll just roll them twice.
Yes, please.
There's 4 here.
That's perfect. Shake, shake, shake. How do you guys?
6, 6.
Can we get
Let's
some
do
more,
some maths.
some more upbeat combat music, please?
4, 6, 18. That's better. 18.
There we go.
So that's 30. That is 39. 42. Only 42.
Only 42 points of damage. Sad. As you cast your fireball, Silas, what you see is these guards leap and scatter. Five of the ones left on the ground are caught in the explosion and take the, was it 40? 42, thank you. 40.
That's
Our
what.
resident rules lawyer.
That's what
telling us
Steve
the
Bennett
exact
said about
damage
my
of
show.
spells.
Thank you,
That's
maths
great.
nerd.
Yes, 5 out of the 7 are affected by this and take the full brunt of the damage. So it has had an effect, you can see that. However, they are all now fully aware that something's on the other side of the palisade, and one of the guards on the top is very aware of Jeffrey.
In fairness, I am a legend. So.
That's why. That's
That's
Devere,
exactly it.
Devere, you have first initiative order. What would you like to do?
Perfect. I'd like to be stealthed,
Sure.
That's how you phrase it.
and I want to hold action to see if anyone
Comes
leaves.
through.
Yeah, anyone comes through. And on,
Are you currently standing in front of anybody? Give me an idea of where you're standing.
I'd probably be at the back,
At the
as
back.
hiding and chef-like as I can be.
So you're behind
Put your
these
hat
two.
on.
Yeah,
So you've readied an action. You've readied an action to deal with someone. By the
yeah.
way, you
So
can't.
I'm waiting for someone to come
You can't
through so I can
move on a
see.
readied action. You can only take the actions. You'd have to move closer to have
Cool.
any
I
effect
wanna.
whatsoever.
I'm gonna stealth.
Or you could use
and
your bow.
hide next to the door where people may come out. So,
So-
as soon as someone comes out, I can just smack him in the legs.
With the rapier. Cool. So, Devere sides up to the other side of the door. You're now both at either side of this door as the guards are moving towards it. But it is your turn first, Silas. What would you like to do?
I would also like to
Ready it.
hold off until anyone emerges through the door.
No problem.
We got this.
Like-
Two of us, like.
Like the cook did.
Brina, what would you like to do?
So is the situation that people are running towards the door? Are there people on top of the balustrade?
Yes, there are 3 on top of the palisade.
Do they on the balustrade? Do they look like they're about to start firing down at people?
They've definitely seen Jeffrey.
They've definitely seen Jet. Oh, okay. Well,
Swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
I will go to HR if you don't do so, mate. I have regular meetings with them.
yeah, me too.
I've always had regular conversations about Relora's hatred of me.
You guys have 6 seconds in your turn, technically,
I'm sorry,
so
I'm sorry. All right,
come on,
actually,
wizard, what's
I'm
going
going
on?
I'm going to cast Fog Cloud
Fog cloud.
to. I don't have people spells.
all right, I can do it.
Help these. I'm going to shape it around those two so they can see through it. But
Fog cloud's not an
essentially-
evocation spell.
Oh, it's not an evocation spell. I can't shape it. Damn it. Okay.
Actually, it might be.
shape.
Yeah, it might be. I'm going to check.
Shape.
I apologise,
Actually,
everybody.
check.
I should-
Sorry,
Fog
I've got
cloud.
it.
yeah, okay.
So it's a conjuration, so you can't shape it, evoker.
Oh, that's a
But
shame.
you create a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range. Where do you want to center it?
I would like to centre it just outside the door.
So on which side of the door? On the side that you guys are on the side they're on?
On the other side. On the side of the door there.
To drive them out.
Yeah. Or to drive them out, or so they can't see us, essentially. So just inside the door.
So just inside the door?
Yeah.
Okay, just inside the door, there is suddenly a cloud of fog into the area you're looking into, trying to find these guys who are running towards the door. The guys on top of the palisade, one of them is within the sphere of this, about 20 feet tall, but the 2 on either side of it are knocked as a sphere.
Cool.
Right. Jeffrey, you do get 1 turn before this guard does anything about this.
You say there's 3 people on the top?
Yes.
Then I'm going to chain lightning there.
Ooh, how does chain lightning work?
It goes to one of them, and then it up to 3 of the targets.
Is it a spell attack roll?
No, that's a dexterity roll, I believe.
Dexterity saving throw?
Yeah.
Sweet. So there's 3 of them. What am I trying to beat?
17.
17.
I believe it should be higher, but I don't know. So it might be.
What's your charisma?
That's 5. So it probably is.
It's 18.
Is it 18?
Yep.
Then it's 18.
Right. Roll for damage. It's half on a failed save, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Roll for damage.
I
Do you want
have
to
to
tell you
know
what
how
it is?
many attack it makes.
10d8.
Can I have some more D8? Oh, yeah, even better.
Don't mind.
Yes, please. 10 D8.
10d8.
I have one more, someone.
Yeah.
Oh, this is better than average. That is 12 plus 14, 36.
Maths, guys. Maths.
40.
That's what this game's all about.
1.
41 points damage.
No,
to-
that's only the first half.
Oh my god. Woo!
Oh, I am in shit.
We always are.
41, 50, 62, 65, plus my charisma because it is electric.
Yes.
So it's 70.
Damn.
That's why I'm the assistant to the head of the arcane department.
So the head of the head of
That's my
arcane
boss, everybody.
the head of arcane research makes a sort of puff of air while the assistant head of arcane research fires a lightning bolt up which literally blows the first guard who saw you's head off. Just boom, gone. And out of that explosion, 2 other lightning bolts
gonna be like
leap
that about
out
it.
and hit 2 of the other guards and severely scar them. It's looking very painful. Where am I?
I'll just put them back.
Oh, thanks, man. So yeah, 1 on top of the wall is down, Jeffrey. Well done. 2 on top of the wall are very aware of your presence, and there are still 7 running towards the door. They now all get their go. The 2 on top of the wall are going to use their. Sorry, they're going to jump off the wall and try and attack 1 on Brina, 1 on Jeffrey. What are your armor classes?
It's 15 unless
16.
I cast shield at the last minute.
Okay, well I've rolled a 20.
That doesn't matter. Okay, I won't cast shield.
Hang on, a 22 and a 13. I think the 22 is at Jeffrey for that ridiculous display.
That's fair.
22, that definitely
hit,
hits you, and
yeah.
yours doesn't hit you.
No.
Excellent. So 1 leaps down. They both take a bit of damage from jumping so far, but
but
they
he's gonna get
definitely
hit.
want to help. So that's 6 each to both of them. They both leap. They manage. The one who's coming for you misses you entirely, Bryn, lands on the ground next to you with a sickening crunch. Jeffrey, the one that's trying to attack you, hits you with his rapier. You take 11 points of damage as the rapier sinks into your arm, I think. Your arm?
Yeah.
Into the arm?
Left one.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can still whack. Sorry, I can still play darts.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, wait, 5
Lovely.
D10 now.
At this point, out of the 7 guards that were making it towards the door, 2 at the front pushed their way through and are now appearing through the door to take an action. They have not seen either of you. You both get to attack either side if you'd like.
Yes, can
Yes.
I sneak attack the nearest one? Because you
Both make attack rolls, please.
Right, so I added that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You add your attack roll next to your rapier.
I think that should be one extra.
That is
A lot.
28 to
28 to hit?
Will that hit?
Yes.
Hang
20
on.
yeah, it will. It'll definitely
D6.
hit.
Oh no, it's just ability check.
So yeah,
it's not
I think it's
attack rolls.
8d6, isn't it? To roll that.
It's 1d8 plus 4 plus 7 extra d6.
So 1d8 plus 7d6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's a sneak attack.
I get
Of course,
advantage.
yeah, the sneak attack.
Yeah, it's advantage.
6
Hopefully.
plus.
Please, Mr. Dice Gods.
What, no, you don't
Come
just fell out of
on,
hand.
be good.
That's
better.
more like it.
What'd you get?
6 plus
29.
12.
29, you hit as
plus
well, please roll your
18,
sneak attack damage.
19 plus 3 more.
So as the rogues skewer them really quickly, it's amazing how quick these rogues are.
28 plus 4, 32.
32.
32
Yeah.
points of damage. Wow. Where did you hit it?
17.
With the rapier?
I think the back of the knee.
Back of the knee.
Back of the knee.
Back of the
38.
knee.
Back of the knee.
One more.
As one runs forward and turns out to see what the threat is,
39.
you just lean in, back of the knee, and you go in deep. You get him very, very hard. And he's definitely fallen slightly, and there's a scream of pain.
grab my
Devere,
notebook.
what do you do to yours?
39 damage.
Okay. Where do you hit yours with your rapier?
I mean, it's not 7.
Straight across the knees to try and like choose
Rapier's
one.
on.
Halflings, we're all about the knees.
Rapiers aren't really for slashing, but I'll allow this one. You attempt to swipe across the knee.
I just
What
want
you
to dislocate them a bit.
What you end up doing is slashing one of the knees and literally pushing the other knee with the hilt back a little bit, so you almost snap the neck back and the tendon. It's not pleasant.
that
Both of these
sounds
guards stumble as they go
ouchy.
forward and lose their action.
Is that your new catchphrase? That sounds ouchy.
Right. There are 2
Better
guards.
than a load of
There are 2
potatoes.
guards next to you. One is attacking Brina. One is definitely attacking Jeffrey. There are 2 by you at the door, and there are more coming through the door relatively soon if you don't do something about it. Devere, what would you like to do?
I'd like to attack the next one that comes through.
You're not going to deal with the one that's run past. You're just
Oh
going
no,
to wait for
I'm
the
going
next
to
one.
attack that one.
Okay.
I want to finish him off.
Okay, go for it.
That would be 22.
That hits. Roll off damage.
And
Not
let's
sneak attack this time.
no,
Nope.
not as cool now, but
Ah.
that is 5 damage.
5 damage. You know, you could have hidden and then attacked.
Oh yeah. Use your cunning action to hide now.
You can use cunning action to hide now if you like.
Yes, I'd like to hide.
I'd roll a stealth check. Silas, it's you next. Do you want to do something similar, or what are
How
you
many
thinking?
people are still behind the wall at this point?
You counted 5
Treat
originally.
it as 10, 22.
And they all made it through.
No, just 2 have made it through at this point. It's about 10. It's about 10-foot gap.
And there's
so-
a door, right?
Yeah.
Can I close the door?
Sure. It's currently a bit foggy, so you have to roll a perception check to see if you can see how the door works.
Right.
You're also a halfling, so it's a big door.
Just trying to help you.
How big is the door?
About 20 foot tall and 10 foot
That'd
wide.
be- That's a nat 1 perception.
Oh.
You think to yourself, I should
you
close
roll
this
lucky,
door,
don't you?
but you can't tell if it's a push or a
Half
pull.
a look, half
Oh,
a
sorry, do it again.
Yeah, sorry.
Do it again.
That's
Thank
a
you.
nat 20!
There are doors. There's one beside you and one beside her as she stabs at the away at the one on the floor. You could easily close these.
How well closed would they be?
You'd be able to close one side of them for now, closing the gap to 5 feet.
That'd work.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I've got a plan.
Make a strength athletics check to see how well you close the
My
door.
plans are great when it comes to killing people.
We've got prestidigitation, just shuts the door.
Mage
We
hand.
can't use prestidigitation for that.
That is
that's
again
change.
nat 1.
If you
Roll
roll a
again?
1, you get to
Don't-
re-roll.
But that's only via my proficiency bonus. right?
No,
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 it's
there's
whenever you
half
roll a
luck.
1. Whenever
Oh,
you roll a
half
1.
luck. Oh, sorry.
Whenever you roll a 1.
Get it. 13.
You push the door and it's quite hard, but you do manage to just about get it to a point where it's shut. So you've definitely blocked off some of the way through for these guards.
So halving luck if you get a 1.
Brina,
roll
it is
again.
your turn. What would you like to do?
I want to firebolt the one that went for me, please.
Okay, he's currently sort of kneeling down next to you, sort of landed quite heavily. Roll for attack roll, please.
Yes, attack roll.
Thank
'Cause
you.
it's a firebolt.
Yes.
But I get. What do I get to these now? That's probably going to hit.
Mhm.
Yeah, plus 10. 26.
26.
Yeah.
You definitely hit it. Rough damage. Mhm.
7, 13, 19 fire damage.
19 fire damage. He is looking pretty awful. He is definitely on his last legs. Jeffrey, there's one next to you that's just hit you. There's also this door situation.
I'm fully aware of the door situation.
Are you? Are you aware of the door situation?
I am aware of the door situation.
Okay.
So if I cast a spell whilst I'm engaged in melee combat,
Mhm.
does he get an attack of opportunity?
No.
In that case, I would firstly like to spend one of my two of my sorcery points
Sure.
to quicken a spell.
Yes.
I'd like to cast Cloud of Daggers in the now 5-foot gap in the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
That's a great idea.
And I would like to cast it a slightly higher level than 2nd level, so 4th level, so it's now 8d4. So
Okay.
anyone who walks through it.
Okay. You've blocked it off. That's fine. And it's currently obscured by the Brina's cloud of fog clouds. They won't be able to see it before they get there.
Lovely.
Can you
Um,
roll? Just remind yourself what the dice roll is, because it might come up in a second.
Yeah. So that's 8d4.
Thank you.
And then I would like to cast Blight on the blighty bugger in front of me, please.
Okay. How does blight work? What do I have to roll against?
It is a Constitution save,
Sure.
and I believe I'm not sure what the damage is because I'm not at level up yet. but-
Okay, that's fine.
I'll.
So I got it. It's right here. So Constitution
think it's
saving throw,
78.
or I'm affected by blight. Well, he didn't make that. So roll your.
I think it's 78.
It's 8d8. Roll your
8d8.
8d8
Yeah,
damage
like that.
on this guy.
D8, D8, D8. Give me a D8. Thank you. So that is above average. That's 8, 16, 21.
21?
That's below average. 21.
Did you say 21?
31. 33.
You reach out with your hand, and blight's a beam, isn't it, out of your hand? It is, isn't it?
It's in necromantic energy.
Do you want to flavour that a little bit?
Huh?
Do you want to flavour that a little bit? How
Yeah,
you
well,
do it?
generally, what it's kind of as I hold my hand out, it
Mm.
kind of it bursts out of him this necrotic damage and fills over him.
So-
kind of red mist. that
As the
seeps
rapier sinks into your arm, you just reach out and go, "Urgh!" and
Yeah.
just blight this creature completely. And as he desiccates, think the end of Indiana Jones. Lands on the floor, just a crumpled mess of bones and dust.
Yeah, and I say, tell them in hell that Jeffrey sent you.
And then flick what the cloud of daggers. Yeah. Excellent. Can you roll the damage for the cloud of daggers? Because they just rolled hilariously low.
You guys could do some killing at some point. That'd be great. That was arrogant. And
Give
I
us a quick roll,
apologise
come on,
for
give us
You
a quick
should,
roll.
because I hid that cloud of daggers so it could do what it did.
This is teamwork.
That's
Yeah.
why I just checked it. They rolled a low perception because
I
of the cloud of
closed the
daggers.
door. We've all contributed.
I'm still stabbing this guy.
And meanwhile, he's like,
Look, this is going way better than I expected it to, so...
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
Because he's going to fuck us over anyway. Like, it's fine.
It's
Play with this
only
18.
18.
One team.
Yes. 18.
Is it 18 exactly?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All of these guys run out of the clouds.
Did I just kill literally
You killed
everyone?
5 of them. 5 of them literally just make to run for this small gap, and one by one just get flensed as they go through. It's like a meat grinder. Just
That's amazing.
Jeffrey meat grinder at the door because they all failed their perception checks, and you just hit their exact hit point total. Well done, you. Well done.
Don't fuck with Jeffrey.
As this mist of reds wafts away of what's left of these poor guys.
You
I mean,
still going to HR, that way.
pretty awful.
Like, yes.
The
Okay,
guy on the ground is unconscious, but he's not dead, and you are currently standing over him with your rapier. He looks up at you and says,
hid,
sorry?
I hid.
You hid.
Yeah, I hid at the end.
Okay, you dodged out the way.
Yeah.
He looks up at the 3 of you, who haven't hidden, and says, "You fools! We're not trying to keep them out, we're trying to keep them in!"
Oh, no.
And with that, we
Go,
will end
go.
this hour of Adventurers Wanted. Thank you very much, guys.
You!
Thank you so much for joining us for this hour.
That's it.
Live streaming on
Ooh, it's hot in
Twitch.tv /adventurers
Over the door.
you are watch out there. We're also live streaming at Adventurers so check us out. I'm going to quickly fly over to these guys while the lights back on. If anyone wants to plug anything, then you can.
Are you...
No, I'm nothing else.
I would like to plug one of our GMs, Leo, has a guest spot tomorrow at Agony Uncles of Science, which he's right over there. It's mostly women in STEM, apart from men, who solve your problems with suspicious applications of science. It's actually really funny. It's really, really good, and it's part of the Free Fringe. It's at Barbados at 9:15 in room 6.
I'm doing 2 shows, which I think you guys will bloody love. First
that
one
to
is
all the
called
girls.
How to Be a Winner, in which I combine every single 90s game show into 1 hour. And yes, I have had to hastily rewrite a lot of it thanks to Bruce Forsyth dying. The second one...
This makes us sad, man.
tell me about it. I think I said I am. He couldn't hold on for another week for me.
Whoa! Whoa!
Dark!
And if you didn't like that joke, don't go and see James's show.
That joke is not in my show. It's a love letter to Bruce Forsyth. The other one is this weekend. If you like, if you're lonely like me, come and see the Tinder Games, in which I try and find love for 2 lonely comedians with the help of the audience, involving lots of shouting and a lot of very horrible men on Tinder.
Is anyone surprised? No.
No, I've seen a lot of. Anyway,
I arrived in Edinburgh this morning on the old 7 o'clock train, which was lovely. I'm in an improv team called Geraldine. We're doing a Free Fringe show at the Laughing Horse venue Espionage in the Bunker every day at 1:15. And we're doing improv from live music. So every day we have a different live musician who plays 2 or 3 of their own songs, and we do improvised comedy based on their songs. So you get improvised comedy and live music in one go, completely free, every day at 1:15, Espionage the Bunker. It's Geraldine, is the name of our improv team.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for
Yeah, thanks, Tommy.
Thank you.
Tommy, can you show us again what it looks like when something gets just completely flensed by a cloud of knives?
I just like skeleton.
There you go. There you go. Thanks, man.
I love working with you guys. I love working with you. How many of them did I kill?
5. Oh, 6, because you also blasted one's head off.
And
the other one?
fireballs.
7 out of 10.
And chain lightning.
7 out of 10.
The hour.
7 out of 10.
Oh, we have a
7 out of 10.
balcony out there, though,
Well,
actually.
13
Let's
in
make
total
up
then.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Not forget.
I've got to open the door anyway, so...
No, there were 10 in total at once on top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
That was some serious
Like,
power play.
the thing is-
Fog